Hello, welcome to this video where the topic is calculating compound interest. This is a tricky subject sometimes as it has a very ugly formula associated with it. We're going to look at how to fill the formula in with the proper amounts, and then we're also going to look at how you type it into your calculator. As far as what compound interest actually is and how it works, there's a video link underneath this video on the page. Check it out. There's another good video on that site which just kind of takes you through why compound interest is better than simple interest. So let's get started. Before we do an example, I want to take a look at the formula and what all these letters mean. The P stands for principal, which is a financial term. It means the amount you invested, or initial amount of money that is invested or borrowed. You could do this the other way around and figure out how much interest you're going to pay. The R in the formula stands for the interest rate. And just make sure that when you put the interest rate into the formula, since it's going to be a percentage, that you either move the decimal 2 places to the left or you divide it by 100. You'll see that on the next slide when we do an example. The T stands for time, and in this formula the time is measured in years. It's actually measured in the same unit as your interest rate, but typically in Canada when you're investing, the interest rate they give you is an annual interest rate, so time is almost always measured in years. And then the last variable is n, which you actually see twice in this formula. It's a number that goes in twice in 2 separate places in the formula. What the n stands for, and it's probably the hardest part of this formula, is compounding periods in 1 year. Now, hopefully you've been through this with your teacher already. Compound interest means they're going to calculate interest several times a year and put it into the account so that the next time they calculate interest, you're going to get interest on your interest. So this is how many times in a single year they're going to do that. They say annually, n is 1. That means it's done once a year. Semi-annually would be 2. Monthly would be 12. You do it 12 times a year. Quarterly, if you see that, would be 4 times a year. 4 quarters in a year, 3 months each. And then daily, your end would be 365 because you're going to do it once a day for the whole year. So let's put that all together and try an example. So Bill invests $700 in an account. I'm sorry, let me go back a step. The A is your final amount. I forgot to mention that. That's your total amount you would have in the account at the end of the number of years you specified. So Bill invests $700 in an account that earns 3.5% interest compounded monthly. It's the word compounded in here that tells you it's compound interest, and you need to use that ugly little formula. And it asks how much interest will he have earned at the end of 8 years. So let's fill in the formula. It's A equals P times 1, just leave the 1, it's part of the formula, plus R over N to the exponent NT. So for this question, my initial amount invested is $700, so I put in 700 for P. I leave the 1. My rate is 3.5%, which as a decimal is 0.035. And I divide that by n, which is the number of times we're compounding in a single year. So dividing by n is, I'm going to divide by 12. And then in my exponent, I've got a 12 again. Remember, n shows up twice in this formula. And my time is 8 years. I'm just putting that in brackets just to show that I'm multiplying that together. So I get A equals, sorry for the little pause there, I just have to clear my throat. So A equals Now we've got to type this into the calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do it all in one string. If you're having trouble with that, you can talk to your teacher and they can show you how to break this up a little bit. You're going to press 700 and then your times key and then a bracket. If you have a scientific calculator, you should have brackets on it. Then a 1 for the 1 here, plus 0.035, your divided by key. Sorry, your plus is the key too. Divided by 12, end bracket. And then you need to press a button right here that is the to the power of button. It depends on your calculator what this button looks like. On most scientific calculators, it looks like y to the x. You might also see x to the y. And on some calculators, you're going to see what I call a hat. Like that. The exact name of that character is a caret, C-A-R-A-T. You will have one of these on your calculator. So find it. That means to the power of. So when you close the bracket, now we have an exponent. Now 12 times 8 is 96. So I'm going to take a little shortcut here. I'm going to press to the power of. So in the line here, I'll just put y to the x, but it would be whatever button you have. That's a bad x. And then 96. And then at the end of all of that, press equals. What you should get is $925.31. Now the question asked, how much interest will he have earned? This is not interest. This is the final amount of money that's in his account after 8 years. He initially invested $700 and now he's at $925.31. The extra money he has is the interest. So to figure out how much interest he made, you take that final amount, the $925.31, and you just subtract what was invested, the $700, which tells you that he made $225.31 as a final answer. I hope this helps you out calculating compound interest. If you need any more help, just talk to your teacher. Thanks for watching.